Hello and welcome to Trevor's Tutorials. I'm Trevor Slocum. In this tutorial, we'll go over a few fundamental concepts and elements of video game development. We'll define a few terms, talk about what the game state is, how game loops are typically implemented, the coordinate system we'll use when we draw onto the screen, and some input devices that are commonly used to play video games. A variable is a named storage location. A flag is a quality or condition of something. The game state is a snapshot of all of the elements of a game at a particular moment in time. And a frame is an individual snapshot of the game state. I know that might not make a whole lot of sense right now. Stay with me. So here, if we look at the first frame, where the player is at on the screen, if we think of that as an XY coordinate, that's one example of game state. And if this game supports jumping, when the player presses a certain button, whether or not the player is jumping would be another example of game state. So in the first frame, the player is level with the ground, and the jump button is just starting to be pressed, but it's not yet detected by the game. And in the second frame, the jump button press is detected, and the player begins to lift off the ground. So how do we handle updating the game state between each frame based on user input? That's where the game loop comes in. The game loop will repeatedly read user input, update the game state based on user input, and then draw the game onto the screen, showing the updated game state. Some games will run the game loop a certain number of times at most per second, and other games will let the game loop run as many times as the system allows. When we draw onto the screen, we'll use a different coordinate system than you might be used to. 0, 0 is up at the top left, and as we move down the screen, the y-coordinate increases. Here we have an example 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels high screen, and the coordinates of the four corners are shown. Lastly, these are just a few input devices that are commonly used to play video games that you'll want to consider supporting in your video game. In the next tutorial, we'll install the Go compiler, set up our development environment, and write our first few lines of Go code. See you there.